In this video, I'm going to take up a question from one of the family members, one of the subscribers, in regards to psychedelics. Before I start that video, if you're somehow watching this video and you've somehow, by a stroke of good luck, found yourself on this channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. So make sure you do it now, like right now, like right now. And if you're already subscribed, beside the subscribe button is a notification bell. Make sure you hit that notification bell, so every time I open my mouth and I upload something on YouTube, you can be notified on your phone. So guys, I appreciate it if you do that right now. And let's get on with it, Saeed. Let's just stop ranting so long about the notification bell and subscribe and just get on with it, right? Get on with it. Hey bro, I saw your video on why you stopped psychedelics. I had a similar experience, although my last trip was a traumatic trip, which is very rare for me, and left me sometimes experiencing depersonalization/realization. What are your thoughts on those words? Have you experienced it, and how does one go about getting out of that mindset? I've improved a lot over the months, but still I occasionally slip into it. Well, first of all, you mentioned that you had a traumatic experience on your last trip. Now, whenever you have a meal that doesn't sit well, that's a bad meal that causes indigestion, do you stop eating? Probably you stop eating for a little bit, you know. You're probably recommended, I would recommend, if you ever have a bad meal and indigestion, go on a 24-hour fast. So yeah, stop eating. You know, something's bad here, your gut needs to fix it. It needs to rebalance, bring you again into a state of balance and harmony with the Tao. So in the same way, if you've had a traumatic experience, do the same thing. You know, take some time off so your system, your psychic system can rebalance itself so that it is in harmony with the Tao. But that doesn't mean you stop eating. You're gonna eat after your fast, after you're feeling better. You're gonna eat, right? In the same way, you know, take whatever time you need, but don't let it deter you from future trips that can help propel your evolution, your consciousness evolution forward. So keep that in mind. Just one bad experience, you know, one bad meal doesn't mean you stop eating altogether. That being said, depersonalization. Depersonalization is basically when you've had an experience that completely shattered your ego, and you've experienced an ego dissolving state of mind that was so powerful, so strong, that when you go back to your old life, who you think you are, and all your old beliefs and everything else, you simply find it extremely difficult to cope with everything. You become detached, you depersonalize, you stop, because you're one, you experience this like unbelievable sense of oneness. You essentially, in an unbalanced way, you don't integrate your ego, your physical identity and your psychological identity in a healthy way, and you become so insistent on everything is one that you forget that since you are everything and you are the universe and you are all of it, guess who is part of it also? You, the ego, the physical body, your humanity. And what can happen in really intense psychedelic trips, you know, ones where, I mean, I've had a trip one time where I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating, I forgot my name because my ego was completely shattered. I was all of it, and I could barely speak, and I swear, you know, it took me 5 seconds. You know, your name, you should be like, what's your name? Saeed, right? What's your name? Bob. What's your name? Tristan. You know, blah, 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 right? It took me 5 seconds. I asked myself, what is my name? And I was like, you know, so high on on mushrooms, and it took me 5 seconds to remember my name, and when I remembered it, I was laughing because I realized that's not really you. That's just something you're playing. So the problem is, when you come back from this experience where you are everything and everyone, and you come back to your ego structure, your psychological identity, your physical identity, that is the body, your humanity, being a human being, because that's what it is to be a human being, is to have these psychological identities, to have these physical identities, to have these roles. That's what being a human being is. And you come back to it and you start to renounce it and refuse it, because you just say everything is one. I'm not this body. I'm not this body. I'm not my ego. I'm not my role. I'm not this, I'm not that. And that's what depersonalization is not integrating all of who you are, because you are whatever you are in the present moment. And right now, in the present moment, you're a human being. You're a human being with a mind and with a body. And for you to renounce or reject any part of your humanity is for you to not acknowledge the oneness that you've experienced on psychedelics. For you not to acknowledge that you are all of it, including, I mean, if you're all of it, if you're the whole universe, if you're everything you're looking at, everything you're seeing, if you are all of it, then surely you're also this. Right now, you're this body. Right now I'm looking, I know I'm not my body, my soul, my spirit, my consciousness. And I can tell you right now, I know I'm not my body. I know I'm eternal. I know I transcend this physical body. I know this, okay? But I'm looking at it right now, I'm feeling it, I'm touching it. I'm feeling my heartbeat, right? I'm speaking to you. By virtue of speaking, I'm having to use my mind, and the ego is in the mind. Your mind is your ego, basically. That's part of who I am in the present moment. Once I drop this body, and once I drop this mind, I'm no longer, I don't have to do with that anymore. That's it. I can move on, maybe incarnate as a dolphin or something, you know, or an ant or whatever. You know, but in the meantime, this is what I am in the moment, and I have to accept what it is that I am in the moment, and I have to work with it. And that's the integration work. I made a video before talking about the importance of spending a good amount of time after every major psychedelic trip working on integration, working on integrating your realizations that you've said the words realization and depersonalization, and you have a shit ton of realizations on a trip. I mean, really, like, I remember in my old apartment, I had papers all around me, like, with fucking essays on each one of them about the universe and the multiverse and all of that. These were all realizations and downloads from the universe that I experienced when I had like major psychedelic trips. So you have a shit ton of realizations, and you need to spend a lot of time integrating. And you need to and if you spend a lot of time integrating and reflecting, writing your thoughts down, writing your realizations down, and start to apply them into your life, then your ability to integrate your humanity into this newfound realization of oneness, of unity, your ability to integrate your humanity will be better the more time you spend integrating your realizations and your epiphanies. And then this depersonalization becomes not a rejection of your humanity, but an acknowledgement of your humanity, an acknowledgement of your role as a human being. Because, I mean, look, if we're talking about here and now, I mean, really, psychedelics, they show you the here and now. They bring you in the present moment. If we're talking about the here and now, right here, right now, you're a human being. Within time and space, you're a human being. But you're also more than a human being. You're also a spirit. But, so, part of who you are at the moment is a human being. So get comfortable with what it is like, what it means to be a human being. And, you know, from the get-go, I can tell you we're very complex beings. Human beings are complex creatures. We're complex organisms, man. we're complex as fuck. Oof, we're complex, really. Like, we've got emotions, we cry, we laugh, we get angry, we get frustrated, we experience empathy, we experience resent and hate, and we kill, but we also sacrifice our lives for others. We have these things, these psychological, what do you call them? Psychological things called egos. You know, that's pretty fucking weird. You know, when you think about it, and having an ego, having a sense of me, of self. You know, most animals don't have that, but we have it. You know, we can think, and we have these personalities. You know, we have this ability to talk and say I am, and converse using words and using poetry and using art, and it's crazy. It's a crazy thing being a human being. It really is a wild, wild ride, and this is a wild dream. You know, this is the dream state that we're experiencing of being a human being. It is really crazy, really, really crazy, and it's fun, and it's horrific at the same time, and it's beautiful. You know, Ram Dass describes it as the horrific beauty of the universe. Right? I think that's pretty accurate. The horrific beauty of the universe, the horrific beauty of the human condition. And the minute you reject anything at all, the minute you find yourself rejecting something or someone or something in the universe, is you rejecting you. Because you created all of this, and you've created time and space. You, the Godhead, you, the consciousness, you, the spirit, you, the void, the nothingness, the oneness, the all, the mind, Allah, Yahweh. You know, the whole bit, the Tao, the universe. You created this, and you've created time and space, and you're experiencing yourself within time and space. The minute you reject any of it is the minute you reject your own self, essentially. So I would highly suggest that you reflect upon what it is to be a human being. Reflect upon your humanity. And accept all parts of it, and be comfortable with all parts of it. You know, the whole bit. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, a lot of times I talk about shitting in this channel, right? Like shitting, like I use shitting metaphors, and you know, you guys even like mentioned, some of you guys mentioned in the comments, like, Saeed, like you're obsessed with shitting, man. Like you talk about shitting all the time, you know, and it's like, for me, shitting, it's a basic thing that all humans share in common. So there is something to contemplate. Shitting. Yes, shitting. The fact that you eat and you shit. Because when you contemplate shitting, then you contemplate eating. And when you contemplate eating, then you connect more with the food you eat. And then you contemplate, oh, you remember, okay, all humans do this also. They eat and they shit. And then pretty quickly you realize all animals do that. They eat, they shit. See, like when you follow up the process of shitting, you realize you're connected to all of it. And then you accept your humanity as well. So next time your shit stinks, you're just like, you laugh. Because it's like, oh, like, I guess here I am taking a shit. Another day, another shit, right? So that's what I mean by being comfortable with your humanity and accepting your humanity. So when your shit stinks, you just accept it. You don't have to like it. I mean, it stinks, but you accept it. And yeah, once you're living in this space of acceptance of what is, which is what is, that it is what it is, that's the Tao, that's the way it is, then you'll probably be in a healthy place, in a more integrated place, where your ego is integrated within the whole system in a healthy way, in a healthy manner. I don't know if this video helped. Hopefully it maybe pointed you towards the right direction from which you can, again, do the integration work and be confident in moving forward with your future psychedelic trips and your evolution of consciousness as a whole. and my gut feeling, my intuition tells me what you asked in this question. What my intuition, what my gut feeling tells me the answer to it is: accept what is, embrace your humanity, and reflect on your own humanity, your own individual incarnation, and on what it means to be a human being as a whole. Accept it all, be comfortable with it, and I think moving forward things will be much more expansive. You'll be living in a more expansive space, let's say, okay? That's it. Make sure to check out my free book, 5 Powerful Habits to Dominate Life in All Areas, because it's a really cool book, and it's only like 19 pages, man. You can read it while taking a shit, and it's for free, right? Can't go wrong. So 5powerfulhabits.com, or you can see it, the link for it in the description. And that's it, guys. I love every single one of you. God bless you all. But don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.